All right, we are recording, my friend.
Now we're recording. I have to continue it when you record. All right.
Well, you
Well,
count
let
me
me see.
down whenever we're going, and we will be live.
Okay, cool. And we're live.
Come one, come all. Welcome back to Chiowa. As always, I am Michael Olson alongside my good buddy Michael Stampo. We are in episode 78. How we doing, my friend?
78. That's a lot of episodes. I'm doing pretty good. Drake Bulldogs are in the fucking NCAA tournament for the first time since 2008.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
super stoked.
Huge.
So first time since I've been a fan. I'm thrilled. I'm excited. Can't wait
So,
for Thursday. They're in one of the playing games against Wichita State, a former Missouri Valley foe who now thinks they're better than everybody
where
and
are they
plays in
now?
the ACC.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they moved to the ACC, the Atlantic Coast in fucking
Oh,
Kansas.
damn. That makes no sense at all.
No, I
I
mean
was
that's
going to
like,
ask you, but you guys must have played them because you guys are both in the same conference. I didn't realize they switched conferences. When did
yeah,
that
we
happen?
haven't. What was that?
When did that happen?
After like 2015 or
Oh,
2014, I
shit.
think
That's
this
been
is
a
like
long
their
time.
fourth or fifth year
Oh,
out.
damn.
Yeah, I think after pretty soon after that undefeated run that they had,
Yeah.
they flipped to the ACC. I think they've been fine since then. I don't
I
pay
didn't know
attention to
that.
Wichita State.
I haven't cared about Wichita State since they had like that they had Ron Baker and Greg Van Fleet, and they played there
Yeah,
for like 37 years combined between the two of them. And
seems
I haven't
like
paid
it.
attention at all since those two kids were there. But that's the fact that they're playing in the Atlantic Coast Conference and they're in fucking no
They're
man's
in
land,
Wichita.
Kansas, is
Wichita's
bananas.
further west than fucking Des Moines, Iowa. But
Yeah,
it's Creighton too. Creighton's in
yeah. Conferences are all fucked
forgot
up.
what conference they're in.
They
It's
didn't
like
they think
any
the American now or something.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
But
Doesn't matter.
conferences should not have numbers nor any sort of cardinality to them because it means nothing
It
anymore.
means absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
But
But now they just
regardless,
keep it all for sponsors and or for
yeah.
for recognition or not recognition for brand names or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
Um
regardless, the Drake Bulldogs are in the tournament. Which, how are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Because I feel like obviously you're
I'm
kind of going in blind. Obviously, you've had fans of other schools that you've been fans of that have been in like bowl games or tournaments. But I'm always like, as a fan, I feel like I'm always obviously excited, but I'm always like more nervous about the game than I actually am like stoked about it. 'Cause it's just gonna be so nerve wracking. Because it's like when you go or winning you advance, losing you go home.
Yeah. So I mean, they're playing Wichita in the pigtail. So the winner plays fuck. I don't remember. USC. You winner plays USC. Southern California. Um,
Nice,
and like I don't think nervous. I feel confident. I feel
good,
good because Drake
good,
has a good team, and they're getting back. Tank Hemphill should be back. Hopefully, fingers crossed on Thursday. Who's one of their more dominant, one of their better players.
nice.
So I feel good. I'm honestly, I know this probably sounds cliche, but just happy to be there
Yeah,
as a
no, for
Drake
sure.
fan.
Like you said, the
Like,
first time since 2008. And then
yeah,
they played, and they got that awesome team. I think they were like a 5 seed or something like that. And they got
yeah,
upset to Western Kentucky. But yeah, that
on the
first time
buzzer
in 12,
beater.
13 years. I mean,
Yeah,
that's awesome. It's
yep.
huge.
Yep, it's incredible. So I'm super stoked. It's gonna be a lot of
Nice.
fun. Hoping that yeah, hoping to well, obviously I'll watch the game, but hoping to make it to Saturday, and then yeah, watch the game Saturday, and then see you in Indy
Oh,
in a couple
so,
weeks.
so they win. What you I guess you wouldn't know what time they play on Saturday, do
They
you? Or
play they would play 3:30 on Saturday.
oh, okay,
So my goal would be to be back home or almost back home by the time the game starts, at least within radio range.
right. Which I don't think we talked about what you're going to be doing this upcoming weekend yet on this podcast because last week we had Matt on. I'm not even sure if you knew then, but
I didn't.
yeah, I guess you found out this past weekend. So
Yeah,
what are
found
you gonna be
out
doing next week?
last.
What are you
Yeah,
gonna be doing on Saturday?
yeah, I found out on I think Wednesday after my run or before my run that I got into the race that I was waitlisted for over
Hell
in
yeah.
Davenport. So one of Josh Sun's races, the 100Ks of convenience rebranded down to 50Ks. So they have a 50K and a 25K.
Hell yeah.
Got a race in 5 days. I had about 10 days notice, but I feel like since I went on the wait list, I'd been mentally prepping and relatively physically prepping for it. So I feel okay. You
Yeah.
know, we've done the distance before. I mean, 50K is no joke, but we've done it plenty of times. It's supposed to be, comfortable weather. I know some of the people that are going to be there. So that's, I guess,
It's
good.
awesome.
Yeah. I'm able to stay with a buddy's parents the night before. So shout out to Mark's parents. They're letting me crash for,
Hell yeah.
12 hours. So I don't have to camp, don't have to, pay for an Airbnb or anything. I'll bring them something nice from Des Moines, as a thank you. But yeah, I'm super fucking stoked.
You
So
should,
ready to
man.
get back in that race mindset. And it
Yeah.
came so quick
It did
out
come
of
so
nowhere.
quick. I know you were saying you were mentally preparing and doing some physical preparations as well. What did this last week look like in terms of training? I know you were doing some long runs, getting more mileage in the last couple of weeks, just regardless
Mhm.
because you knew it was a possibility. But I know you did some nice runs this past week, and I want to hear about.
Yeah. So last week, there's a run club that I, run with at work, and they had this annual event that took place Monday through Thursday. So I ran pretty much all of it alone. I guess 2 of the days by myself, 2 of the days I met up with other people, ran some. Um, but it was about 30 miles total, not each day, through a hillier neighborhood, the South of Grand neighborhood. So that was good because it allowed me to, get 7 to 8 ish miles each day in some non-flat terrain, which was nice. So that just helped me build up that 30 miles right away. And then I got in a 17 and a 9, I think, on Saturday, Sunday. Um, did some up Boonville, and then Nate and Alex did the whatever second non-annual
Yeah.
inconsistent Coonville Flat Roads
Yep.
50K.
Yep.
So they did a long 32, and I ran the 7th, 8th, and 9th 5K loop with them.
Nice.
So I got like 9 miles in there
Hell
too.
yeah.
So
Well,
yeah, feeling
Nate and
feeling
Alex are
okay.
previous guests on here. Yeah, shout out to them. They just ran their first it's a training run for their upcoming 50 miler. It is right,
Yep, 50 miler
50
a week
miler.
from this Saturday.
So they
So the
became
same
ultra.
day as yours.
Yeah, they became ultra marathoners this past week. I'm just on a standard old training run in the
Yep.
fucking rain. So shout out to
Yep.
Nate and Alex for gritting through a training run of 32 miles in the fucking slop. So
Sounds horrible. I
yeah,
remember waking up. So not only was it raining, but they started at 7 a.m. on the fucking day of daylight savings. So they
Ugh.
lost an hour of sleep. They got up. So what was basically 6 o'clock to them,
and
it
dark.
was, I got up at 7 o'clock also, not to run, just because I happened to wake up. It was dark and it was raining, like
Yeah,
pouring out. I was like, that does not sound like fun.
no, but
Not
they
at all.
got it done.
Yep.
Battle through
So,
adversity and became ultra marathoners. So
yep.
super stoked for them. But yeah, I can't wait to hear about the 100Ks. I know you said that a few people who are also going to be running it. I think you said Scott Coomer from 10 Junk Miles is going to be out there. So
Yep.
have fun seeing them. And I'm not sure if he's doing I'm assuming he's doing the 50K
Yeah.
versus the 25K.
Yeah, I think he's doing the 50K with someone
Nice.
from the Chicagoland area. So I'm sure I'll see them. I'm not sure if I'll run with them much.
Right. Right.
But yeah, we'll see. It'll be fun
Awesome.
to see him. I didn't know he was signed up for it until I got in, and then I checked the entrance or whatever, the people who are registered, and saw it was on there. So sent him a message, and yeah, it'll be nice to see him. I haven't seen him since Badger. Obviously, wouldn't have seen. No, was Badger before or after Cole's wedding?
I
Way after.
was it? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. It's after because remember you bought Hillary a T-shirt and
Yeah,
Hillary's mom, your mother-in-law, a T-shirt as well because
yeah.
they helped
But
crew for us.
But fuck. Well, Cole got married in September.
Yep.
Badger was in
So
October.
it was like a month later. It was like a month after the race.
Was the race in September or October?
The race was in
In
August, I
August?
think.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. For some
Yeah.
reason I thought it was like September October 2nd.
No.
But you're
No,
right.
it was
No, it was in the
August.
middle of fucking summer. It
Yeah.
was 150
Yeah.
degrees out.
Yeah. I
Jeez.
won't forget that. It was definitely in the summertime.
Yeah, no, it was definitely summertime.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just had a brain lapse, but
No, it's all good.
oh,
But yeah.
whatever. So you've got a race coming up too. You've got a 50K, right?
Yep. Got that next. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, so the 27th. Got the Lakefront 50K. I've been super excited. It's been on the calendar for a while now, and well, I guess about a month. So super excited for that. Been getting some nice long runs in. Got a nice 20 in on the Lakefront
Yeah.
path
You guys were moving pretty quick
this
too, you and
weekend.
Carlson.
Yeah, it was just about a little under 9 minutes. Nice, comfortable 9 minute pace. So it was nice. It was beautiful out. A bunch of people out with their dogs in the lakefront. A bunch of people out running. Saw a bunch of people out fishing and stuff on the Montrose Beach Pier up by the bird sanctuary. People catching fish. Saw some like people catching salmon, some northern
Ooh,
pike,
salmon?
some
There's
trout.
salmon in?
Oh yeah, bunch of salmon in Lake Michigan. Big
I didn't
salmon,
know that.
big king salmon, big coho salmon. Oh
I
yeah.
always thought salmon were like river fish.
So they come in the river to spawn. So like you'll
Ah,
catch them. So like they're always born. Interesting fact about salmon. They're born
really?
in a stream, so a little like estuary, so that it's not out in the big water, so the eggs can actually be laid and be fertilized and hatch. So they're born in upstream, and then they make their way out to the big water, to Lake Michigan or wherever they are, and then when they're of size, and then when they're of breeding age, they'll go back to the same exact creek where they were born. Somehow it's bred into their DNA to go back to the exact creek where they were born.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and reproduce there.
Incredible.
So yeah,
I've had-
plenty of salmon in Lake Michigan.
Yeah, I've heard some pretty actual terrible things about people. I think up in Alaska. I'm gonna butcher this, but people in Alaska trying to mine for oil or drill for oil, mine for gold, mine for other raw materials, and either diverting or obstructing enough some rivers,
Definitely.
to the point where the salmon can't get back upstream, and they'll just keep trying to whatever get upstream and kills like hundreds of I don't know, lots and lots of salmon. Very sad. Very not good.
Yeah, I mean they will literally die, during they can't get back to their breeding ground. So happens every year, regardless if they're inundated with mining or not. But yeah, there's a huge die off from when older salmon try to get back up to their breeding grounds. Usually they breed, and then a lot of them they die. So anyways, getting off the salmon tangent. I'm really excited. Like I'm literally so stoked to be packing my long run pack, my hydration pack with snacks and with all kinds of food and liquids and everything to get the proper nutrition. So that's been super fun the last couple of weeks, getting the pack back on, throwing in some nice like pretzels, some Oreos, whatever you want, just to be fucking snacking, some fruit snacks, just so you can have the proper snackage for those 31 miles. So yeah, it's been fun doing those long runs on the weekend, especially since it's been so nice.
Yeah, no, it's nuts. We'll have to have Carlson on too when you guys are done.
Yeah,
maybe
for
like
sure.
the week after your 50K, because he's done one or two before, hasn't he?
He's done Frozen Gnome. So his first one was in January of 2020, so right before the pandemic.
Okay.
He did Frozen Gnome up in wherever it's what.
It's up in Wisconsin somewhere.
Yeah. So this is the second one, so it's been kind of fun to. He's obviously super stoked. It's still kind of new to him. So yeah, he's been a great long run partner. It's in Crystal Lake. I thought it was in Illinois. So it's Frozen Gnomes in Crystal Lake.
I believe.
Yeah, I just looked it up.
I thought it was
pretty positive.
Wait, well, there's another race. I might be just be thinking of Ice Age.
Probably.
And
Frozen Ice, same difference.
Yeah,
but
honestly, that probably is the correlation in my head that made me think that it was Ice Age or on the Ice Age Trail up in Wisconsin.
But yeah, so I'm super stoked for it. Like you said, haven't done an actual race where you tie on a bib since almost 18 months ago. So
yeah,
can't wait for that. Super stoked. It's super small. I think it's 100 people. I'm not sure how big 100 cases or 50 cases.
I think they're doing 40 people.
Combined. Oh, it's 40. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 15-mile loop. They're trying to keep it small. I think I could be off in saying that, but
yeah. So I mean, it's both obviously are pretty. I mean, are abbreviated. So yeah, just can't wait to get out there and toe the line on a start line again. Feel those butterflies, like you said. So cannot wait. I do want to hear what's going to be in your pack next week. And obviously, it's you guys are running through a convenience store, so obviously you have access to food, but you're obviously going to bring your own stuff. So what is Michael Stampa's go-to race day pack going to look like? I know we've talked about what we like to take on our training runs, but what's going to be on your back in the Ziploc baggies to be munching on when you're tramping your way 31 miles in Davenport, Iowa?
Sure. So a little change to that this year because of COVID. We're actually not stopping at convenience stores. It's going to be more like a traditional like aid station. I don't know if that means it's going to be in a parking lot or they'll have some other trail access or at a park, but whatever. They're just going to be regular aid stations.
Yep.
I'm assuming that there's going to be an aid station at about mile 5 and about mile 10, and then about mile 15 will be the start finish.
Yep.
So then I'll have access to that, and then I'll also have stuff in the truck and whatever else. I'll probably just bring my own stuff just to limit contact and limit exposure as much as possible.
Right.
But for me, what I carry, I usually just do water for drinking fluids, especially because I don't have like small water bottles for pouches. So if I like put a Gatorade or something in my pouch or in my in my backpack, it's just super inconvenient, and I'm good with water anyway for the most part. So I'll just do water for drinking. And then as far as food goes, I like salty. And so I'll do some like salted nuts. I might get some like cured meat of some sort, chop those up and put them in a bag together. And then I'll do like probably a Cliff Bar or two.
What's your go-to Cliff Bar
that I'll carry with? I really like the white chocolate macadamia
Ooh,
nut
same,
ones.
bro. I have
So
those
good.
sitting on my counter
I've got
right
one
now.
I've got one upstairs right now. They're so good. And
I
then
smashed one of those on
anything,
Saturday.
they're so good. And then anything like chocolate or peanut buttery,
Hmm.
for the most part, I'll grab two. But those white chocolate macadamia one nuts,
So clutch.
so good.
Yep.
So I'll have those in my pack. I don't think that I'm gonna have headphones on for this race,
I was gonna
just
ask that.
because. Yeah, just because it's like going through the streets of Davenport, and I want to be aware relatively of my kind of my surroundings. I thought about bringing like a speaker, and I still might bring like a little speaker, at least that I could play like when I'm just kind of by myself.
Right.
But if there's like a big, huge group of people around, I don't want to be like blasting my own music.
Of course. Yeah.
I know, like when we were on the trail Badger, we played music, and if people came up and like ran with us, we're like, hey, do you mind if we're listening to music? And I think everybody was cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think anybody would be mad about it.
And
or
you're also
anything,
on
but
the streets of Davenport. You're not in some picturesque trail. You're running
exactly,
the streets. So
exactly, exactly.
you're gonna have cars be going by you. I think that's
Yep.
smart though, to not like have like your senses like diminished by having your headphones popped in
Yeah.
your ears so you can still hear cars and whatnot.
Yeah.
And obviously it's COVID times, but I'm sure you'll still come across people who are running the race that you'll share
Oh
some
yeah.
miles with. So I always like just being able to talk to the people that you're with and get to know somebody and kind of hear their story and why they're running, this silly little race that you're doing too.
Oh
So
yeah.
I think not having your headphones in kind of shows people that you're open to, chatting and having the miles go by with somebody else. So that's like honestly
Absolutely.
my favorite part
Yeah.
about
And
the whole
like
sport. So.
last time I did this race, I did it with Mark.
Right.
So we just
Right.
like talked to each other the whole time and talked to other people. That was, I don't know, 3 years ago, I think. Yeah, just
Yeah.
about 3 years ago. So times were different, things were different. But yeah, I'm thinking I'll probably just leave them out. Probably bring them with, but I don't know.
Yep. I
We'll
think I'll
see.
do the same thing. I think I'm gonna bring my little AirPods and toss them in my pack. And if I use them, awesome. And I probably don't plan to. I definitely won't start with them in. But if I, have a low point, if I'm like by myself for an extended period of time and I need a little pick me up, maybe I'll plug them in and
Yep.
jam out to some like Kesha or something.
Oh, love it. Honestly, sometimes that stuff, that high school throwback type
Yeah,
music just gets the
exactly.
blood flowing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's going to be in your pack? I'm guessing you're going to have water in your bladder.
Yep.
And then definitely Pringles.
I need to buy some Pringles. I don't have Pringles right now, but yes,
Okay.
Pringles are gonna be in my pack come race
Okay.
day. Probably some pretzels. I'm gonna have probably some Oreos or some kind of cookie, a little sweet action. Maybe some peanut M&Ms. Maybe find their way into the bag.
Oh, if they have to.
Yep. Yep. Maybe some Cheez-Its. I'm a big salty guy. I'll probably bring a couple of salt tabs. I think the way that they're doing it this year, I think that it's like it's an out and back. And I think that they only have like I think there's 3 spots. I think 2 of them are unmanned just because with COVID and stuff. They're trying to have limit contact. I think there's the only one that's manned is the start finish one. But I don't think you go more than 3 miles without aid. So I don't need to bring my pack. I probably will just because I'm just having the safety of knowing you have it with you is always kind of a mental check mark.
It's a bonus for sure.
Yep, exactly. So and I'm used to running with it on anyways now. So yep, probably have a bunch of salty, some sweets. Some Cliff Blocks. I love the Cliff Blocks. Like the big, basically fruit snacks. Some of those. I bought some Sharks and Dinos fruit snacks from Aldi. If you can just see,
So
like,
good.
my brain just revolves around food. Like I'm named like 12 different things already.
But the Sharks and Dinos fruit snacks are next level.
They're
Like
so
they're right up there with like Scooby Doo fruit snacks. They're so good.
Yep.
Because those
really
are those are like the opaque ones, right? Like they're not the jelly clear ones. Oh, they're so good.
Yep. And then I'm gonna have the Cliff Bars we talked about, the white chocolate macadamia ones. So
So when you eat or when you plan for a race or think about how you approach nutrition for a race, do you go in with any sort of I'm gonna have I'm gonna run 4 miles and then I'm gonna eat some a Cliff Bar and then I'm gonna go another 3 miles and have some blocks, or do you just go based off a feel?
No, I do have a general plan, and I specifically I mean I'm of the mindset like obviously you don't want to get behind. I think it's all relative. I think a lot of it is off feel, but you also want to make sure that you're not like putting yourself behind the 8 ball. In those first 10 miles when you're not really hungry, you're not really thirsty, but that really starts to snowball effect if you don't stay on top of that. So I usually try to make sure I'm drinking water every single mile. I think that especially that first like 5 miles, it's so easy to I don't bring my water with me usually on a 5 mile run, but constantly be reminding myself, okay, your watch just buzzed at 1 mile, take a sip of water. every 3 mile, every 2 miles, eat a block. So just so even if you're not hungry, you're staying ahead of that. Every hour, pop a salt tab. Just I think salt and you're just thinking clearly. When you get behind on those electrolytes and the sodium and everything, it certainly can affect your thinking and how clear you're thinking. So I definitely always try to have a general game plan. Oftentimes it doesn't go perfectly to plan because you get talking to somebody and you forget or something like that. But I certainly have a general game plan to kind of not overeat in the beginning, but to remind myself to eat even if I'm not hungry and to constantly be drinking every mile.
Yep. Yeah, I think I had this conversation partially with Nate when we were running over the weekend, and just talking about, as he's getting ready for, or as he and Alex are getting ready for their first 50 mile, what are some, things that you might be able to do? And, I don't think that it was me saying, hey, do this. It was much more conversational, but
Right.
we kind of agreed that the last thing that you want to do is fall behind on your nutrition. And I think that
Definitely.
they've learned that a lot during their long runs too. I mean, they did 32 miles this last weekend. They've done a couple other runs like in the 20s. Because once you fall behind, it's so hard to climb back up and so hard to climb back out. So It's
Definitely.
like in the beginning, like you said, the first 5, 10, 20 miles, just eat more than you think you should, drink more than you think you should.
Yep.
And you'll still probably dip at some point, because we all have, those mental ups and downs in the
Of
middle of
course.
any ultra or any, really any longer distance race. But having that baseline and not having to climb out from lacking nutrition or lacking salt or lacking water, it will make it a lot easier to climb out when you do need to.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that hopefully, I mean, I don't know what the weather's going to be for the race, and obviously it's still 2 weeks away, so it's kind of hard to tell.
It's getting,
Um,
yeah, you're
but
getting into that 10-day window,
right, exactly. And I
but
think
things
that
can still change. Yeah.
most likely it's going to be the end of March. So I think the benefit that Nate and Alex and that we will in the next number of weeks when we have our races is that it's not going to be 85 degrees and sunny most likely.
Most
So I
likely.
think that
Yep.
that makes it that exact makes the problem worse when you get behind because you're losing more sodium through more sweat. You have to drink more water, so you are flushing a lot more of your nutrients out of your body when it's hotter. So at least I think there is a little more buffer of room for air. Not that you want to be messing around and getting into that red zone, but it's certainly there's a little more leeway when you're not sweating a liter every hour
Mm-hmm.
through your body through sweat when it's 95 degrees outside or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head just making sure that you're not getting behind on that your nutrition and both in your hydration. So yeah, they're gonna do great. They've been working hard for the last number of months leading up to this race, and I can't wait to hear their race recap. Maybe we'll get the exclusive race recap live on Chiowa one of these weeks.
Oh, we might have to. Maybe we can even go on Twitch for it too.
Yeah, there we
Get
go.
it like legitimately super live.
Absolutely.
That'd be electric.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, you feel like you're gonna still have those nerves? You feeling like confident? Like
Oh
are you
yeah.
excited? Like where are you at in your mindset in terms of like you've had a couple days to process the fact that you got to run an ultra next week, but
I'm
how you feeling about it?
I'm super excited. And so first when it came through, I thought to myself, "Oh, awesome. Like now I get to go run this race." And I was about to accept it. And then I thought better about just accepting it on the spot, and I was like, I should probably make sure that we don't have any other obligations that weekend.
Yeah,
But my thoughts went from like, okay, cool, this is happening, to excited, to then thinking about how now I have to kind of prep and like plan a night
and
away.
suffer
Not that that's hard to do. And then what was that?
and suffer to the race.
Exactly. And then I also suffer through the race. And then my mind goes to like, I wonder what the weather's going to be like. Last time we were there in Davenport, it was, early March and it was a beautiful day. But, in a similar vein, I have done a race down in Kansas City in March or down outside of Kansas City where it snowed and rained the entire time.
Right.
And it was just it was horrible. Luckily, knock on wood, we're looking at a low in like the mid 30s and a high in like the mid 50s.
Oh, that'd be
So
perfect.
should, knock on wood again, should be good. But yeah, I think that what I'm looking forward to least is driving home after,
Yeah.
because I'm planning
You
on
always
just driving
lock
right
up.
back.
Yep.
Not going to be fun.
Always be
So
sore. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to taking a little time, like right after the race, to sit down and then finding some food, just probably destroying at least one, maybe two Jimmy John sandwiches,
Ooh,
and then having some Aussie bites in the car to snack on my way back.
you love
And
the
then just,
Aussie bites.
they're so good. We bought some yesterday at Costco for the intention of me just to bring them to Davenport,
Did you eat 'em all?
and they're like 2/3 gone already, or like a third gone. There's like only 2/3 left, so there's a good chance that they don't make it
Yeah.
to the
Well, you can buy
weekend
some
all
more.
the way to
You can buy
Davenport.
some more.
Yeah, but
That's
I don't know.
hilarious.
We'll see.
I mean, you
But
gotta. I mean, hey, nutrition leading up to the race is just as important, as nutrition during race day. So
mhm.
you're just getting your body right now,
Get,
so you can
get,
be ready for Saturday.
exactly. I'm just
We're
eating
recording this
junk
on
right now.
Monday,
So
but
yeah, I'm eating junk right now so that my
yeah,
body on Saturday is able to
can
process it
process
properly.
exactly,
Oh
exactly.
man. Oh, that makes me think too. The time that I ran it with Mark before, I had a couple, not a couple. I had one really terrible, need to take a dump during the middle of the
The
race.
worst, the worst.
And we were in the middle of a neighborhood,
I
like
wouldn't wish
Randall
that
Square.
feeling on my worst. I don't have a worst enemy, but if I did, I wouldn't wish having to poop on a run, especially in a race, and on my worst enemy. It's the
So
worst.
so terrible. I
Terrible.
remember like running through parts of Davenport and thinking or expecting to be about a mile to 2 miles from the next aid station, and knowing that I wasn't going to make it that far.
Yeah.
It's just I
You
was
might
like,
as well
there's no
be
chance.
fucking yeah, London, England. Like there's no way
Yep,
I'm making this.
yep, no
Yeah.
chance. So we came across a park, like a public park. Go to use the restrooms, doors locked. Beginning of March, stuff's not open yet.
And this was pre-COVID, obviously.
Pre-COVID. And then like going up and down hills just does wonders
Oh,
on your bladder, on
yeah.
how it feels. Oh,
You
so
start you
bad.
start eyeballing like bushes and like thinking, do I have an extra pair of sock on? Oh, I got a
Yep.
buff. I have to use
You
this
got a
buff.
buff. Got a buff to toss.
Yeah, you
You
always got
know,
to be scanning for those bushes.
always got to be scanning. But obviously made it, no issues. And then after that was done, felt like I could run a million miles.
Yep.
I felt so
Yep.
good. Such a nice feeling. So
Yeah.
that's one thing that I'm not looking forward to either, is having that feeling, and then just having that feeling is terrible.
It,
So
I'd
uncomfortable.
equate it to like kind of not the same thing, and not to be gross, but have you ever been seasick and had to puke and how that's a
No,
terrible feeling? It's a
I have
terrible
not.
feeling, obviously. Being
Yeah.
nauseous is the worst. But at least for me, when I've been like the one time I've been seasick, like I did puke. It was when I was in New Zealand. I was fishing in New Zealand. I was like, oh, I feel gross. And I puked. And I was like, oh, I feel like $1,000,000. Like, let's stay out here all day long. And
Yep.
it's kind of the same thing. It's like,
Yep.
oh, I don't think I can take another step without pooping my pants. And then you
Yep.
take care of business, feel great.
You're good to go.
Same thing.
The thing with puking is, though, if I felt sick and like I needed to puke, I could have just gone on the side of the
Right.
road and
Yeah,
puked.
exactly. You can puke anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't take a dump anywhere.
Yeah, not so much, unfortunately.
Maybe someday. No,
Yeah,
hopefully
maybe.
never.
Oh God. But no,
Oh well.
so. What do you have any goals for your race? I mean, obviously you want to finish, but do you have
Yeah.
anything in particular? And if the answer is no, I mean you've only had 10 days to think about it, not even. So just
Right.
curious.
Not particularly. We have 8 hours to do the race. That should be plenty of time. That is kind of, I feel like that's kind of a short amount of time for a 50K to have like a cutoff, because I feel like other 50Ks I've done them between 5.5 and I think I took like 10.5 hours to finish the 50K down in Kansas that one year. Maybe not that long,
So
but it took a
that was
long
your
time.
super snowy and like
Yeah, it was like
gross.
snowy, slick, pretty hilly, whatever. I'm not trying to make excuses, but it was like 10 hours. It's a
Yeah,
long time.
yeah.
So 8 hour cutoff isn't like, I'm confident that I'll be done well
Oh, for
before
sure.
then.
Yeah.
But as far as goals go, no, I'm just excited to be back in like a race atmosphere, put on a
Absolutely.
bib, get
Yep.
moving with a group of people safely, safely as we can. And yeah, no, I mean, it'd be great if I could, set a PR, but I'm not going out to set a PR. I'm going
Right.
out to move my feet and get back into a race atmosphere and, get to that 15 to 20 miles, knowing I have, 10 to 12 to 15 left, and question why I'm doing this, and then finish the race and start
Yep.
scrolling ultra sign up again.
Yep.
Like I know that both of those things are going to happen.
100%.
Like there's going to be some place or some point during the race where we say, what the, like, why?
Gonna have the woe is me moment. Like, why am
Yeah.
I doing this? This is so stupid. Why
So
am I doing
stupid.
this?
So dumb.
Yep.
But, and then I think back to Nate and Alex, and they ran 32 miles on Sunday.
Right.
So,
Right. And you'll finish,
can
you
be
get,
done.
you get the little medal. You'll talk to the people at the finish line.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh, the suffering's over. And then you'll
Yeah.
probably have, like you said, have a Jimmy John sandwich or a slice of pizza. And then
Yep.
you'll go home and you'll
or
kick your
both.
legs up on your ottoman or your table or whatever you have, kick your feet up on. And then you're going to be right on your phone
Yep.
looking at ultrasign up, which is
Yep.
how it goes. You're going to feel
Hopefully-
that soreness in
hopefully
your
watching-
legs. And it's going to feel great. And
gonna
take
be
a
so
shower and then you feel all clean again. And then you'll be right back to saying, oh, what's the next race?
Yep. I'll be out the door. I think the race is on Saturday. It is on Saturday. I'll be
Yeah.
out the door on Monday for another run if I need
Yep.
something else. And yeah, hopefully on Saturday watching the Drake Bulldogs
Hell
beat
yeah.
down on USC. But yeah, no, I'm just looking forward to that. The environment again. It'll be
Yep.
fun.
Do you know your race bib number or anything yet? Do you know any of the details?
No
Do you,
idea.
no idea.
Nope. I should be getting I should be getting some like not swag, but one of my favorite zip ups is like a light
Ooh,
zip
yeah.
up from the other one.
That
So
red
I don't
one,
know if
right?
it's gonna be what.
That red one, right?
Yeah, it's the red one.
Yeah.
Super comfortable, just like a nice, like light and easy. So I don't know if they're gonna have any swag, but I am looking forward to hopefully finishing and getting some weird, um, like metal type thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you recall, but
I
what I
do.
got
There's that
before
silver
was
thing,
like
right?
that
Yeah.
weird silver thing. It's like the
Yeah.
only one where you really display. It's like in the main living area above
Yeah.
Hillary's desk.
Yeah.
It just like looks super cool. I know last year I think they got, or 2 years ago or whenever, they got lamps, and
Nice.
then the other year they got something else that's weird. It's like, make it unique.
I
Make it weird.
yeah. I love that. Like I mean I think I love a good, race shirt. I think everyone, those are great. I think that's kind of the standard. You get a shirt and a medal or a
Maybe
buckle
some
or whatever.
socks.
And
Yep.
yes, exactly. But I like when they mix it up. And obviously, 100-mile buckles. I mean, why everyone? I mean, that's amazing. That's fantastic. But like getting like if you run like a half marathon and not to poo poo half marathon, that's an incredible accomplishment for anyone who does it. But instead of just getting like a ribbon with the medal attached to it, I always prefer something different, or a different giveaway. Instead of a T-shirt, they give you a bag, or they give you a lamp for the finishers, like medal. That's what I think is like so cool, and they have a unique spin and makes it like memorable. Because like you said, otherwise, every single one of my medals is in a bag somewhere in my closet, zipped up, and I haven't looked at them in years. So it's like when you can actually do something unique where you can display it on your wife's, on her shelf above her desk. That's awesome. That's so cool.
It's cool. And it's so weird. And you look at it, and like you said, if you have something to display, every time you look at it, you're reminded of that race.
Right.
And actually, that specific race, every time I look at it, I think of my niece, because my niece was born on the morning of that race.
Oh, nice.
And me and Mark were 10 miles in, and I got a call from Hillary. She's like, "Oh, did you see the pictures?" And I went on, popped on my phone, called my sister, all this stuff. So yeah, that race brings back other memories too. And I mean, I would think about that anyway, regardless of if.
But still, it's a reminder every single time you see it.
Yep,
that's
it's something cool. Yeah,
nice.
So, we'll talk about your prep and what goals you have for your race next week. How's that sound?
Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Dope. Yeah.
We can recap 50Ks, and we can get into my little shindig on the next episode. That sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Any other running topics you want to talk about this week? I'm not sure how much we have to cover this week. I know we had Matt on last week, so thanks to Matt. Sorry for everyone who watched, was looking out for the YouTube thing. We had a little mishap on getting that recorded, so apologies to Matt and anyone who was looking for the YouTube last week. But we are recording now. This should be up on YouTube this week if you want to catch it out there.
Yeah,
But,
and you'll know that if you're watching this YouTube while we're explaining that, then you'll know it's up.
Inception. Yeah,
the best part.
Exactly.
Yep.
But no, I had a lot of fun having Matt on last week, and was bummed that we couldn't get his YouTube up. But we'll have him on soon when he does his 100-miler in November, if not sooner, and we'll get that one recorded for you.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that at all.
Cool. Any other topics we want to catch on this week? I know we didn't cover too much running stuff. A little bit of a touch base on obviously your race coming up, but anything you want to kind of touch base on this week before we kind of let the listeners go?
Nothing too crazy. I'm just excited that we have some semblance of normalcy that is coming back. I know we've had sports now for a while, but to see the NCAA season go as long as it did, I'm not the biggest basketball fan.
Yeah.
I'm super pumped, obviously, that Drake is in the tournament, but I'd watch casually. But it's nice to see that they were able to organize and get like a full season in. Not every conference got every game in, obviously, but it's nice to see that, society seems to be tipping in the right direction. And then, also reminded with your race in a couple of weeks with the race that I have coming up this weekend, things seem to be progressing in the right, in the right way. And I'm thrilled for when, obviously when COVID is not completely cured, but like curbed, and we can get back to more or less normal life.
Yep, I'm with you on that. I can't wait to watch the NCAA tournament. My Iowa State Cyclones are literally one of the worst teams in the entire country this year. So
they weren't that bad, were they?
I have not watched. Yeah, they won 0 conference games.
0.
Yeah,
oh
they
man,
won 2 games.
They used to be so good too.
Yep,
like they were an elite program.
They need some changes going on in Hilton Coliseum. Football team's amazing, top 10 team in the country, and now we're terrible at basketball. Used to be a top 10 basketball team in the country, and now we're terrible at now it's just roles reversed.
Yeah.
So But no, I'm super excited to watch. I don't know anything about college basketball this year because I've watched so little of it. But I bet on your Drake Bulldogs, courtesy of
Big
your
fan.
recommendation. So
Appreciate it.
If they win, I'll be happy, and if they lose, I get to blame you. So it's a win-win for me.
That's fine, and it's a win-win for me too, because
Yeah.
I know that I have good friends who are supporting Drake financially, or at least
Yeah.
supporting yourself by way
Yeah.
of Drake financially.
Yep.
And if you lose, then hey, we're all in this together.
Yep. But
Right?
like you said, excited for that. Obviously, baseball season's around the corner.
Yep.
They announced that they will be having fans at Wrigley and guaranteed rate or
The
soccer
cell,
park as they go, whatever it's called
Yeah.
now. I think it's gonna be like 15% capacity, but super excited about that. Kind of reminds you that things are going back to normal. Was able to run by Wrigley last
Such a good
Monday and a
feeling.
nice run, and had welcome back fans on the marquee. People outside.
good.
It was beautiful. It was unseasonably warm. It just felt like the tides are turning and positivity's in the air, and hopefully, like you said, in the coming months, we're able to get back out safely and into these events that we want to do. I miss live music so much. Like I've been like talking to friends about that recently, but how much I miss, like go to like a random like show on a on a Thursday night. It's like, oh, you want to go see so and so at whatever small venue in your city is, and you're like, yeah, let's go do that and have a couple drinks or just hang out and take it easy and soak up some nice live music. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I feel like once live music's back, I'll be like, I feel like it's finally like life is normal again. But
We're finally there.
hopefully we're
getting there.
It feels like we're on the backside of the racetrack, kind of heading towards home here on this this craziness that has been the last year. But
I'm hoping so.
We surpassed like the year of like shutdowns in the States, right? It's been over a year since that should be going on, which is crazy to think about. But
it's nuts, insane. So did you? Excuse me. Oh, that was uncomfortable. Did you
it was uncomfortable
put your name in for Cubs tickets?
I did. Yeah, I put my name in the hat for the drawing. Obviously, with super limited tickets, who knows how it works,
Yeah.
and who knows how kosher it is. It might be one of those things where it's like they give it to like season ticket holders, or they give it to preferred people or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My name's in the hopper. I'm not sure how how good a chance I actually have, but you can't win if you don't throw your name in the hat. So maybe I'll get lucky and get to go to a game. And fortunately for me, it's like if I have to take off work, I can be there in literally minutes. So it's not a big deal if I have to take a day off, or if I get them last minute, or somebody else who has them
You'll
picks
go.
them up or something like that. So
Yeah,
pretty accessible.
You're telling me that you'll go to a 120 game on a Friday afternoon in 75 degrees. You'll leave work a little early. For
I would
that?
be willing to do that. I mean, I'd be willing to do that on a Tuesday. I'll take off work if I have to. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I haven't been in Wrigley in so long.
It's, set you're out of office, or not be on your phone during the game, but mid innings,
Yeah.
check email.
Yep,
Do a quick
exactly.
little
You can
reply.
work remote. I've been working remote for the last year plus, right? I can do it from my phone.
Exactly. How far? No, obviously we wouldn't actually do this, but how long do you think it'd take if you like had Cubs season tickets? How long do you think it'd take for your boss to notice that you were just gone every day at like 120 for every home game? Hopefully not very long. Probably not very long.
Yeah,
after a day or two.
I mean, it's not uncommon. Some days that I'll go. I guess I try to schedule most of my meetings, most of my calls in the morning anyway. So I feel like I'm most productive in the morning.
Yep. I'd agree with
probably
that.
a couple days. Because it's not. Sometimes you can get away with you know what you try calling me. Oh, I'm out of pocket. I'm handling something right now. But I'm also like I'm a pretty like honest person. I just feel so guilty that I'd be like I can't do this. Like I would feel like I was like the most like shitty person in the world for like from like not actually being in office and like being at Wrigley having a couple Bud Lights and eating a hot dog. I would kind of feel bad after the first 8 minutes. So
and I'm obviously I'm not implying
I know
or inferring that you would ever actually do that. Just
couple
kind of
days
curious.
probably.
I think it'd take like
a week.
I think it'd take like a day or two.
Yeah.
For them to not even like not even like that I'm that important. Not saying that I'm not important. This is a different rabbit hole, but like just not being available for communication or missing a meeting or whatever.
Right.
It'd take like a day or two.
Yeah, and you always got to remove that. At least from my iPhone, it always self programs like sent from iPhone. So whenever I'm like on, I always delete that. Yeah, delete that.
100%. You can just change your signature to make it match whatever.
I know you can. I mean, I don't care. I only only time I ever really reply from my phone is when I'm traveling or if I'm like replying before working hours or after working hours and I'm like on the couch. Then I don't give a shit and I'll leave that on there. But yeah, if I ever am remote and it's like, oh, it's 3:00 on a Friday and I'm already out running an errand and I reply to an email, you always make sure you delete that out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But then even then too, it's like it's 3:00 on a Friday. I'm running an errand.
Exactly.
I can look at this on Monday or look at this when I get home or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. But no, man, I'm super excited to hear about the race on
Yep.
Saturday. It feels like everyone's running ultras now. I mean, Nate and Alex ran one this weekend. You're
So
running
quick.
one this coming weekend, and both then Nate, Alex, and myself are running one next weekend. So the gang, our little running gang, is knocking them out. And it feels good to kind of be back in that swing and be talking about start lines and finish lines and the adventures in between those two lines. So I can't wait to be back out there.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it. Cannot wait. Couldn't
Yep.
come soon enough. But
Well, it's gonna be coming in a couple days, so
yeah, I
you
got
don't have to wait
5
much
days
longer.
left. Yeah, that's very true.
Yep. Cool.
Cool.
Anything else you want to chat, or should we let these people go?
I don't think so. Kind of a light week. I say we let the people go. If you're out there on a run, find your next podcast or listen to 77 or episode 76 if you haven't yet.
Yep. Appreciate you guys, and we will catch you next week with the race recap from 100Ks of convenience.
Yes.
Can't wait.
But a 50K, the 50K version. Yeah. So long. I would have, if they had 1,000K, I would have done it.
Right.
Longest distance. I'm just doing the longest distance one they offer.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next week.
All right. See you.
Peace.
Yeah, Bo. See, that's 40 minutes. It's perfect.